Good morning, everybody, or good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching us from or where you are participating from. Good morning for those who follow from Europe. Welcome to CAIP'21. I'm just going to walk you through a little bit, basically the conference, the idea about the conference, the team of AI for People, what to expect from this conference. Let's start. I'm gonna share my screen so that you're able to see what I see. And here we go. Share. So here we go. I thought about using this occasion and this welcome talk in order to walk you through the conference. And I think there's no better way to do that by showing you how to navigate our website as well. You can find a lot of information on our website. However, I do encourage you to spend most of your time on GatherTown. It's a special place. I'm going to talk more about it. And it's going to give you a lot of functionalities that are going to allow you to have a great and fun time. But first, as I said before, welcome to CAIP'21. CAIP stands for the Conference on AI for People Towards Sustainable AI. So first, let me tell you a little bit about me, who I am, then about AI for People, what is AI for People, who is AI for People, so who's behind in terms of the team. Then I'm going to elaborate more on the conference itself, on what is the idea behind the conference, how was the idea born. And then I'm going to go a little bit more into the environment that is going to host the conference, the environment of GatherTown. I'm going to explain you a little bit how it works. And then finally, I'm just going to spend a few words on the code of conduct, and I'm going to let you go in the space of GatherTown and explore by yourself before the talks of the day start. So who am I? My name is Marta. And I'm a PhD student at the Oxford Internet Institute. But most importantly for today, I am the conference general chair, together with Philip and Joao. You're going to see them around. And I'm also the co-founder of AI for People. What is AI for People? AI for People, if you have not heard of us yet, is a no-profit research association. And the idea behind AI for People, the association was born with the aim of basically developing an AI or AI technology that caters to the needs of the people, so to societal needs rather than the other way around. And our mission is to learn, pose questions, and take action on how this can happen. We activate ourselves through different initiatives, and you will be able to get to know these initiatives during the conference days. We have 2 sessions that are dedicated to AI for People. You're going to learn about our podcast initiative. We also have a running AI ethics group that meets every Monday. But more than that, we're not just an association, there's also people behind this association. As we think that AI requires and entails a lot of complexity, we also think that the best thing to do is to have a very interdisciplinary team that can look at this complexity from different angles. Now, I think the best way for you to get to know the team is once you're on the conference website, you can just scroll down in the organization and you will be able to see the faces of the team members that you will encounter on GatherTown. Now, you will not see these actual faces on GatherTown because we are all avatars, but here are the people behind the avatars. The 3 conference chairs, Angelo, who's the publication chair, Leah, the program chair, Aina, finance chair, Vincenzo, program chair, Kevin, technical program committee, Gabriele, technical program committee as well, and Maya, conference assistant. So I want to thank all the team of AI for People who's behind the conference, and please do talk to us in these conference days and ask us any question. So that's enough, I guess, for AI for People. Now let's spend some time talking about the conference, CAIP'21. What is the conference and how was the idea born? I guess if you're curious about that, one good way to start is to go on the About page of the conference. And you will be able to see that this is a sort of continuation or the climax of a series of previous events. We started last year with the AI for People workshop in 2020. On that occasion, we ran several free workshops for the public, for anyone. Those workshops were for free, and there were intro workshops from the more technical side of AI, such as intro to NLP, for example, intro to Python, to more the conceptual and social science side of AI. And in that case, there were intro to AI ethics, for example. On that occasion, we realized that we were running the workshops and we could not hear a lot from the people in terms of their concerns or what they were learning, what were their questions, apart from the content that we were sort of conveying. And so we thought, why don't we do another conference, a conference that is different from the typical ones, where we just have an academic public, but why don't we use this conference as a platform to bring the public in conversation with the academic and the research side of AI. And this is what we hope this conference to be for you, for us, an occasion for all of us to actually share ideas on AI, but also to learn from each other. So please do use this space really as a learning ground, but also as a ground for discussion. So that's about AI for people towards sustainable AI. Now, you will have in mind something very general after, after my brief presentation here. And I want to make it a little bit more concrete for you. Here is the program. The program can also be found on GatherTown in order for you to orientate without having to go out of the space. But I'm just going to talk to it briefly in order to give you an overview. So here is the program. The conference, as I told you, it's called Towards Sustainable AI, right? But what does that mean? Many people think about sustainable, think about sustainability, the environment. Now, in our conference, we wanted and we aim to understand sustainable in a very general and a broad sense. We understand, in fact, sustainable AI as a movement to foster change on one side towards greater ecological integrity, however, also towards social justice in the entire life cycle of AI systems. So it's very broadly understood. And it is from this conception that the 4 thematic days take shape. So we have first day on AI and the environment. The second day is on AI and civic participation and rights. The third day is on AI governance. Fourth day is on AI ethics. And you will see the theme of AI ethics leaks into the 4th day as well, with our last keynote speaker also talking about AI ethics. So here is the main days. Here are the main themes for the days. Now, I want you to explore the program, to be curious about it. I don't want to go into too much detail. However, there are a couple of things I think that are important to know. Each day has a set of ingredients that are recurrent. These ingredients are sprinkled around the days at different hours, at different times. However, they tend to be there for each day. You will realize as you look at the program. One of the main ingredients is, as you can see today, and that's also what's going to follow this welcome talk, is workshops. Workshops are on the thematic, are on the themes of the different days. So we have a workshop on AI and the environment by Pi School today, following my talk. We have a workshop on artificial neural networks, an intro to artificial neural networks, in fact, that goes from today and happens tomorrow as well as a follow-up. We have a workshops on sustainable AI. We have a workshop on AI governance by Nicolas Moes. We have a workshop on AI ethics by Jessica Morley. So each day has its own workshop. That is one ingredient. Another ingredient that you can notice from the program is keynotes. We have keynote speeches from different speakers each day. So the first day, we're going to have Priya Donti from Climate Change AI. The second day, we have Sneha Revanur from Encode Justice. The third day, we have Nicolas Miai from the Future Society. The fourth day, we have Abhishek Gupta from Montreal AI Ethics Institute. And the AI ethics theme, as I mentioned before, will leak into the last day as well with our last keynote speaker, who is Maria de Arteaga. Now, this is the overview for the keynote ingredient. Another important ingredient is roundtables. Roundtables are special events where different associations working around the themes of the days actually have a platform to talk to each other, to share what are the opportunities, but also the challenges and the threats to working within each of the themes. So we have a first keynote on, roundtable on AI on the environment for the first day. Then we have another roundtable on AI and civic participation and rights on the second day, roundtable on AI governance on the third day, and roundtable on AI ethics on the fourth day. Now, these are the main ingredients, those that are recurrent. We have another side to the conference, apart from the public sort of side, which is the academic side, as we aim to bring them together, as I mentioned before. And that is embodied and represented by the paper sessions. So part of this conference entailed issuing a call for papers. Papers have been sent in by authors. There has been a review process, and now the accepted papers, congratulations to those, are those who will be presented by the authors themselves on each of the days. So the academic ingredient that recurs every day is paper sessions, which you can find on the program over here. Now, enough with the recurring ingredients. We also have some sort of special features that happen during the days, and those are really sprinkled around and appear at different times. So we have 2 sessions on getting to know AI for people. One is going to be on Sunday and is going to talk more generally about AI for people, but it's going to be aimed more specifically at talking about one of our new initiatives, which is the podcast initiative. So please come along if you're interested. And the second session on getting to know AI for people is going to happen on the last day, on Wednesday. And that session will also talk about AI for people more in general, but will be more specifically tailored to talking about the AI ethics working group that we have within AI for people. Now, that's enough for getting to know AI for people. We also have fun activities, which is, for example, we're going to watch a documentary all together on the evening of Sunday. We're going to watch the documentary Coded Bias. Potentially you've heard about it, potentially most of you have heard about it, but you might not have watched it. And it's worth going and watching all together. Apart from that, there is also a special lecture that I really want to talk about, and that's going to take place on Tuesday, and that's the lecture on Catalog of the Posthuman. This is a lecture which is going to be headed by 2 artists who presented their work on the impact on technology on the idea of work, and they presented their work at the Biennale in Venice. So we're very, very happy to have them, and please, if you're interested in art, do come along. And even beyond being interested in art, I think it's a very thought-provoking exhibition and lecture. So yes, I think I've spoken to all the main activities. Now you're seeing the program, and you're seeing that many of there is one ingredient that I have not talked about, and that's the socializing in GatherTown that you keep on seeing across the days. So that's what I'm going to talk about now, GatherTown. GatherTown is the environment you're now found in and that I'm speaking to. GatherTown kind of looks like this. All right, so you're going to have an avatar. That's my avatar personally. And you can walk around by using the keys of your keyboard, just like in a normal video game. Important to know is that you can not only walk around space, you can also interact with objects. So as it happened for you in the lecture hall, whenever you go close to a chair, the chair is going to light up, and it's going to tell you press X. Now, that's very important because that doesn't only happen in the lecture hall, it happens throughout the GatherTown space. So, for example, the screenshot you see here is part of our social space. In the social space, you can relax, you can network, you can also play games, as you can see here. And it's very, very important for you to know that if you want to play games, let's say, you're going to have to approach the object in the game area, and you're going to have to press X. That's what's going to allow you to play a game. Same if you want to, of course, I do not know, interact with someone or sit on a chair. There's a high amount of interactivity that is entailed by GatherTown. So that's about it for how to interact, for how to walk around. What about the rooms you encounter? A very important room, potentially the most important room, in fact, is the lobby. Hopefully, all of you are going to be familiar by now with the lobby or with the lecture hall, which is where this event is taking place. Whenever you're lost, whenever you do not know where to go, please come to the lobby. One of us will be here at all times and is ready to give you any assistance. Apart from the lobby, we also have the tech help up here. Let's say you can't hear us, you can't see us, or GatherTown is buggy for you. Do come to tech help, and we're gonna help you to sort that out. So that's enough for the lobby, I would say. You can also chill in the lobby, which is a very, very nice thing. One other important aspect is where you're found now, the lecture hall. As you can see, chairs are interactive objects. You can press X, and I invite you to do that before any events or session starts. You want to press X in order to be able to see and to witness the event. Now, all the events are going to start over here. So that's, together with the lobby, the most important place you want to know. One important thing to say is that while all events will start here, we might walk over to breakout rooms for smaller events, events that want to be more interactive. And this will be the example of this screenshot, where you have breakout room A and breakout room B. These breakout rooms, you might be in them, for example, for workshops, where there's going to be a higher interactive load and where it's going to be easier for participants to also talk and interact with speakers. So yeah, that's enough for where the events and the sessions are going to take place. You saw also our social side. Now, how do you orientate yourself through the space of GatherTown? I think apart from the lobby and the lecture hall, the best place to know is this one. So now you're in the lecture hall. Once you get out, and probably many of you have already seen it, you get out on your left and you get into what we like to call the town hall. Over here, there is a little park, and it's very easy to orientate from this sort of like centerpiece of GatherTown. You can access the social space on the left. You can go in the booth space up here, where there is a booth for each of our sponsors. And you can go in the poster space here if you're curious about the authors and their papers who have produced a poster for you to see and interact and get to know their work better. And most importantly, you can check the schedule of the day down here, which is not only accessible through the website, but always available to you during the conference within this space. Now, if I were to move like more down here, I would actually get to this part of the room, and that's where you access the breakout rooms that I just talked about. And also, interestingly, we created a little library for you, which is called the Educational Resource Library. And if you interact with the books, you can actually interact with several educational material that AI for People has created. So please do, if you're curious, you're gonna get to know more of our work. So I think that's enough for the logistics of GatherTown. If you have any other question, do go back to the lobby or tech support. Now, one thing I really would like to stress and that I really care about is the code of conduct. The code of conduct, for those of you who are not familiar with it or who have not had the occasion to read it, can be found over here on the website. Basically, you can go on about, you scroll down, and you have code of conduct. We created this code of conduct in order to make sure that the conference within GatherTown and beyond GatherTown for these 4 days is an environment which is a safe space for everyone. So please, let's keep up this code of conduct. Let's make this a safe space. And if any issue arises, please, really, please do contact any of our team members. You can see them around. You probably have already seen them around GatherTown. We are labeled as team. Get close to us, talk to us. And if that's not enough, please do send us an email at conference@aiforpeople.com. .org, sorry, very important. I would like at this point to thank all of you for being here. Well, first of all, you, the people, as in the name of our association. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging with us for these 4 days. We're very, very excited. Apart from the people, I also want to thank all the speakers who are going to speak in the next days. Please do check them out in our program. It's a great variety, not just of sessions, but also of speakers. So do check out our keynote speakers. Do check out the associations talking at the roundtables. Please do check out the special events and the workshops over here that are going to happen in the next days. So thanks. Apart from thanking the speakers, I would like to thank the AI for People team, because without them, this wouldn't have been possible. You will see them and you will get to know them through these days. But it has really been a great pleasure, and it is a great pleasure to work together on this conference. And I want to give a special thanks to Joao, Phil, and Angelo for putting so much effort into this and for really making this happen. It wouldn't have happened without you guys. Apart from thanking all the people and all the sponsors and the speakers, I would also like to thank our sponsors, because really without them, also the conference wouldn't have happened. And you can see them at the bottom of our page. I would like to say and to convey to you that this conference is supported by the European Association for AI, is supported by PySchool, who's going to give a talk just after my talk over here. It's also supported by Latitudo 40. And the partners to this conference are the Linux Foundation AI and Data, Encode Justice, the Future Society, and ML Dawn. And all the proceedings from this conference are published by the European Alliance on Innovation. So enough of thanks. Sorry for spending a lot of time on this, but I think it matters a lot. And one last point before I let you go and I let you explore the space. Please remember that we are a no-profit association, but we're also all students or people who have just entered the job market. This is our first time organizing a conference, and it was a big challenge. It was also a lot of fun. I swear to you that we're doing our best. However, we just ask you to be kind and understanding in case there is any technical difficulty or we encounter any delay. Sadly, this is normal. So we just ask you to be patient. We promise you that we're gonna do our best. So hang on in there. And well, I think the next thing to tell you is that you should reconvene in the lecture hall for the next session, which is going to be the workshop on AI and sustainability. And I can show it to you over here. So we're going to have workshop AI on the environment by PySchool. Is going to start at 11. We're gonna all reconvene in the lecture hall. We're gonna all meet there. And if we have to walk through a breakout room, that's where we start walking from. Okay, so just be on time in case you do not miss the bus of people walking to the breakout room. Now, apart from this little bit of information, I would like to encourage you, in fact, to visit the GatherTown space. And now that you have seen a little demo to it online through my presentation, why don't you go and go crazy around the space, check out the social area, interact with objects, talk to people. You still have around, let's say 20, 25 minutes to do that. So you do have some good time. We also have a bar if you're interested, so check that out. So yeah, I'm happy to take questions. If there are any questions, I will stop sharing, and please do refer them to me in the chat. I will wait for a minute or two for questions to come to me. Okay, we have one question from Abhishek. Hi, Abhishek. So he's asking, hi, can you please show how to go to breakout rooms? Right, so I have only access to screenshots here because I am not actually in the space of GatherTown, but I'm gonna show you how to do that with the screenshots. I think we can do that. So I guess right now you're here. You are found in the lecture hall. Once you're in the lecture hall, if you're not in the lecture hall, do let me know because then we're even out of GatherTown. But assuming you are in GatherTown, once this lecture is over, you want to exit on the left side over here. And once you've gone out of the lecture hall, that's where you will be coming from. You are going to have access to this area. This area is a sort of the centerpiece of GatherTown. Once you're here, you want to go down here. You pass the schedule, and as you keep on going down, the next thing you see, as you see, you will be coming from here. So schedule, you go down, and these are the breakout rooms. Okay, so this is where you can find them. Okay, and do let me know if this is not clear. But this is all I can show you with my screenshots. And let me know if you're not on GatherTown, please. Okay, I see you directly joined from the Zoom link. I can share with you the GatherTown link. Here we go. Here you can access GatherTown. Okay, any other questions? Let me check here. Okay, I received from the rest of the team the news that there's no more questions. So please do enjoy the space. Do come back here. I would say 5 minutes before the start of the next session, so you can make sure to follow us in case you do not know how to get to the breakout room. And I wish you all a great time here in GatherTown. Do use this space, not just during the sessions, but you can stay here even overnight if you're interested. Okay, so well, have a great time and see you in the rest of the sessions.